Watercooler.
Ba, 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 da.
Watercooler. Watercooler.
Ba, 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 da. Hey, welcome to Watercooler. Something's different. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know how the show goes. I, Chris Locks, want to kick it all by my lonesome, but via remote, at least for today. We got the Fab Five, all of us on this particular podcast, all the way in Orange County, California. Gary Smith.
What's up?
Hey, there's a lot of stuff, Gary. We got to talk to you.
Why? What's been up?
Oh, you are. There's an article about you.
Oh,
can't wait to. Yeah, you saw it.
Oh boy.
Well, we're diving in on that. Oh boy, all the way in Austin, Texas. Matt Fondelier.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Matt. All the way in Long Beach, California. Kalen Bean.
What's going on?
Hi, Kalen. And by the way, we got to talk about Kalen's gamer headset.
Gaming headset.
Should I said Kalen or should I said CB
Sour shoes.
Sour shoes, yeah.
347-872-644. And then Dawson,
What's
the
happening?
way in North Hollywood, California.
Just north of Hollywood.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So why don't we start off with Dawson?
What?
Dawson got a car accident.
Oh, no.
no.
Oh shit! You did,
Yeah. See, I'm dropping the
bro.
news.
It was your birthday like 3 days ago. That's not fair.
Yeah, I had the day off yesterday, but I had to run to the Sevi really quick, so I decided to leave the house, and I should not have.
Oh, the
Second.
rain.
And,
What happened? What
dude,
happened?
some fucking idiot parked on the side of the road. Parked. Street parking. There's two
Idiot.
lanes going north. I'm in the number one lane, center lane. Fucking idiot. Just fucking gunned it, probably in an attempt to make a U-turn.
Yeah.
Smashed right into the side of my truck, right before the rear wheel well. Fucked up the rear axle. My truck is not drivable. May not
shit.
even be fixable.
Oh, look at this. Chris sharing
Yeah,
a photo, but
trying
not
to.
in a way that,
Chris.
that one would think you would do on a Zoom
Chris
chat,
just
but
texted
instead
to me.
showing his phone to
Why
us.
there we go. Okay,
Oh, look at that.
That's
Look at
better.
that rack focus. That looks like his
Thanks
truck.
for recognizing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Dawson's truck.
Oh, that wheel is at an
that's
angle.
Tire.
That wheel is at
Yeah.
an angle it should not be.
Yeah. So,
Holy.
Chris, do you have the picture of the other car?
No, you never sent.
Okay.
You never texted that to me.
Text that to
You
me.
You should have
Dawson.
seen the other car.
Yeah,
that's what
that's
you gotta
exactly
say
right.
when people
Here's the
look at your
thing.
car.
Here's why I'm really upset right now. I got a call from the other people's insurance company, and I did a recorded statement with them, and it was the exact thing that I said to my insurance. And then not 5 minutes later, do I get a call from my insurance guy saying, yeah, they say it's your word against their insured person's word, so they're not paying the
What?
claim. And it's okay. Look, I'm fine. The worst that happens is I'm out $1,000 deductible.
Okay.
That still sucks.
That's
No, it totally fucking sucks.
And it's
it
a
was
hassle.
totally this person's fault, and they're just fucking evil people.
What would they have said that could have possibly made that your fault?
See, here's the thing, dude. Each insurance company, their job is to defend the person that they insure. And obviously to try not to spend money. So they're just going to believe her word because there's no witnesses. And so far, there's no video evidence. But my phone is turned on right now because somebody came up to me and said, hey, he used the word dash cam, but I think he really means security cam from the house across the street. He said, I was just talking to my friend. He wanted me to tell you he was going to download the footage and he'd share it with both of you.
That's
So
good
if
news.
that footage exists, and I fucking hope it does. But I'm really just fucking done on humanity right now.
I feel you, dude. Okay, there's a few things. First off, there's like some rule, and I'm pretty sure if you rear end a car, it's like almost always your fault, right? Like
Right.
they don't even want to hear about it. Like, oh, you should have had enough space in front of you. You should be able to prevent that, no matter how fast you're going, no matter how slow the person in front of you is going. If you were in a rear end
If
of
you
car,
rear it, we don't want to hear it.
that's
You
the
know,
quote.
that was the bumper
that's
sticker
quote
that I
they
saw.
said. Yeah.
That's a t-shirt.
Yeah,
too.
that's the freeway sign that bummed out Mr. Corolla when he
Yeah.
saw it. So
Who?
they're I know. And so now Dawson, your rear axle was hit, and I've seen the picture of the other car, and that car's front is caved in. So
Exactly.
obviously
It's-
the car's front went into Dawson's rear axle. Now, unless Dawson is Tokyo drifting, there is no way for him to get in that kind of accident where he would be liable at all.
Let's
Can I
not
get an
give-
amen? Gary goes.
Yeah, he's Dawson, not DK. Let's be reasonable
right,
here.
Right. It's not Tokyo drifting. And I talked to my insurance guy after, and he's like, I don't know, dude. We're gonna fight it, but now it's a 3 to 4 month process, and if they agree, then you'll get your $1,000 back. And it's like fuck you people.
Ugh.
And we
Now-
exchanged information. They know where I live, so I'm not happy about that.
So best case scenario, you've given a interest-free loan of $1,000 to an insurance company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's not. Yeah, never mind.
Is this a good move, Gary Ghost and panel? Because I mentioned this to Dawson when I heard about this. Is I also recently got in a car accident.
what?
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
be
I
a
was driving.
one-upper.
I was driving Jenny's car. We were both in it, and we got hit. It was 1,000,000% his fault. So where he admitted it, there wasn't even any fighting. But we get out, we pull over to the side, we get out of the car, and he's just looking panicked. He's like, "Oof, is there any way that we cannot go to insurance?" And I'm just looking at him like, I mean, there's a lot of damage here. What do you mean you don't want to go through insurance? Like, please, I am just begging you now. Please, is there any way that we can just do this without insurance? And then Jen looks at him and goes, "Are you not insured?" And he goes, "I'm not insured." That's correct. And my life would be completely ruined. Like he is
Oh my
begging us, like,
God.
my life will be ruined if we go through insurance. I'm just, whatever the damage is, I will pay for it. I'm good for it. I'm good for
Oh
it.
yeah,
Whatever
he
this
sounds
damage
real
is.
good for it.
Yeah.
I know. And we're just like, so Jen and I go huddle. I don't think he's good for it. Yeah. Like, this is bad. Like, and two, he did smell of the Mary Jane as well. I kind of caught that
Yeah.
off on him. He
Come on.
admitted guilt, right? I mean, he's like, "Here, just take my info." And he takes his ID. He shows it to me. I take a picture of it. Doesn't ask us for any of our information. Like he doesn't even bother. Like he's just so out of sorts. Whatever. So I take a picture of his stuff. We get his license plate. We get all the pictures of all the damage. And then he's just like, "Please." And he's a big dude too. So he's just like, "Please, man, I'm desperate." And he's like looking at me like, mano, I'm desperate. Is there any way? Like, we can't go through insurance. Can you tell me we're not going to go through insurance? And now I have a pregnant wife who's just like, we're late to something already. Now we're dealing with this. And I'm thinking this sequence flashed through my head where he goes, and now we've entered the dream sequence. The fuzziness has come. We're entering a dream sequence that is going through my head. "Oh, hey man, actually I do have insurance. Let me go grab it out of the trunk real quick." Walks over to his trunk, takes out a tire iron, comes at me and kills me.
That escalated quickly.
Well, no, that, like, as I'm speaking to him, I thought he's getting really desperate here, and there's nobody around but us. So I'm thinking, all right, let's figure this out, bud. Why don't you get in your car and get out of here? Well, we'll figure this out. And then he drives away, and then we called insurance. What else are we gonna do? There's
Yeah.
no way that he could possibly cover all this. He's like, he wasn't driving like a super fancy car by any means. Like, he didn't. I hate to profile, but he didn't really look like he could cover it.
Well, let's
So-
just be honest. If you're not insured, it's probably because you can't afford it. It's not because
Yeah.
people dislike being insured. It's you got to
Yeah.
do it. So if you can't
And if
hack
this
that,
is life ruining,
yeah.
then yeah, there's something there's something else going on here that I don't want to get involved with. Just fix the front end of our car, please, and let's just move on. And the thing, and this sucks, and Dawson's going to experience this too, is spoiler alert, insurance covered all of it. He was uninsured, but there was a plan that worked out, and we didn't even have to pay the deductible, which is great. But the time it took to bring the car into the place, get the rental car, deal with all that, not knowing at that point if we were even getting our money back and all that stuff, and they're having trouble getting hold of this guy. All the runaround took over a month before we finally got our car back. Everything's back to normal. And there was a lot of stress. We're in the process of doing all the baby stuff, and now we have to worry about getting a rental. So there's a lot of time that you just get sucked into when dealing with something like this. So Dawson, I do not envy you at all. I'm curious what's going to happen with you. I don't even what kind of car you're going to get. I can't believe it's a Cybertruck. There's just so much going on. So I hope everything turns out okay, man.
It is what it is. There's nothing I can do but ride it.
Well, and so the way Dawson told me is he sends me an email and he starts it off with something like, well,
I was in an accident.
I was in an accident. No, it started off with before that. Well, shouldn't have gone outside today.
I know the feeling, Dawson.
Yeah. So, well, Doss,
I needed cigarettes.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're okay. First off, we all.
Yeah,
are.
me too, man.
Yeah,
dude.
That's scary.
The car accidents, they'll
My
happen.
truck, dude. My truck was the safest fucking vehicle on any road.
It was a tank.
At any time.
Yeah.
Chris, I'm glad that you're safe too, and that you weren't beaten to death with a tire iron.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're out of the dream sequence now. Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, thank you.
I'm alive,
This whole
guys.
time.
It's me. Yeah. Oh yeah, the whole dream the dream sequence included the funeral. Included
Wow.
you guys explaining to our audience what happened to me.
This is wild, man.
Matt was laughing a ton.
Did it have music?
Music, yeah, it was everything. The whole post Chris life just flashed before my eyes. That's why I told him you should get out of here, bud. All right, well, now let's see. There's so many updates here. Matt, you have a Shay?
Really short one.
Okay, here's a short
Yeah,
Shay.
nothing
Kaylin,
crazy.
do you have a quarter update for us?
I do.
Oh,
Okay.
some positive updates, I hope.
So, yeah, we have a pause. I mean,
It's better not
I
be I
wouldn't-
lost a quarter.
I know I wouldn't be so sure because they haven't all been positive.
I don't know if I can
Kaylin has
take
been
it.
working on collecting all 50 of his quarters, all 50 states. He's going very slowly and really,
Like it's
really,
up to me.
really taking his time here.
I wish it were going faster.
Yeah, and do you have a flicking too, Kaylin?
I do have a flicking.
Oh my gosh.
What a
It's so
what a
great when
show.
Kalen's
What a
here.
What a
Thank
show.
you, Matt.
Yeah.
But why don't we go to comments first? Let's do some comments because one of them is going to involve Mr. Gary Smith.
Now it's time for listener comment.
Chris, at some point we do have to talk about your baby shower momentarily. We can wait for Patreon if you want, but I have
you
thoughts.
had a baby shower?
Yes.
And a little celebration.
Little babies.
A little celebration.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, Doss, I would have invited you. It was on your
Doctor.
birthday. See, this is what I'm talking about here. This is what I'm talking about. Wait, we had it on your birthday, dude.
I'm with you, dude. Don't worry.
Kaylin was invited. He didn't come.
Yeah.
Well, I was invited adjacent, and it was told to me that we RSVP'd no. So
Okay.
so I went, okay.
Gary, I'm so glad you brought this up, buddy. That's just making me feel really good. This whole thing.
Were you
all right.
disappointed in that, Kaylin? Were you like, wait a second, I wanted to go hang out with Chris?
I may have, maybe a little bit, may have been a little disappointed.
Look, the baby shower is. It's really like the co-ed baby shower is a thing.
Yeah, it is. And look, we've waded into this now, so I won't torture you with it again on Patreon. I just want to bring up one thing that I found interesting. There were, a few games going on. There was a Jeopardy session, where with trivia about the couple and about their new baby. But they also had a really fun one that I thought I'd never seen before, where they basically gave you a piece of paper with a cutout of a head shape of a head, and then they had Chris's mouth, Jenny's mouth, their nose, and their eyes, all cut out in little like printed,
little like strips.
yeah, little strips, right? And then you are charged with basically using whatever combination you would like to put the face of the baby together, right? It was really fun. And it was really cute. And I got to be honest with you, I thought mine was really good, but I was me and my wife were the first people to do it. So people got way more creative after us. By the end of it, I did not think mine was good anymore because people got out the scissors and the glue. Somebody found a paper clip and turned it into an earring. Like people got creative.
Wow. But did you take pictures of these pictures?
I don't. I think I have one of mine. I don't have one of the other ones, but we're not going to show that right now because I'm not ready with it. What we are going to show is that there were 3 or 4 different designs of the face, and each one had a section where you paste onto it. Now, now forgive me. Now,
Section to what?
to paste the eyes and the mouth and the nose onto it, right? It's all pre-done for you, right? So it's like obviously the eyes go here, pick whichever ones you want. But there were 3 or 4 different options. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
So these are all okay. Now, Chris just passed one that is of issue with me. Now, forgive me because my son has drawn over this a little bit, but what the fuck is this, Chris? This is not okay.
I didn't do that. What's wrong with it?
What's with the hair?
What? My hair could do that.
I get that anyone's hair could possibly do that, but I don't think that's okay in 2023.
I don't see the problem is either, Gary.
I've seen little babies with that.
It looks like an
A
acorn.
single ponytail. on top.
I wish you would just have been quiet during the party and ate your fortune cookie, but no, you had to talk about it. Yeah, there's a little it was like a sumo bun, not even a sumo bun, but it was Asian influence.
It was it was clearly an Asian hairstyle, which I just thought it was funny. I'm just busting your chops, but I thought it was a really cute like game idea. Like a lot of times the games at those things are a little whatever, who can suck beer out of a baby bottle the fastest. It's like
thank God. Yeah, we were all worried we were going with that game.
My attention really perked up.
I remember the good old days when dudes didn't do that shit.
Doss, I will say this, and I expected you to think this. Yeah, I remember those days too. It's like, yeah, let the girls do the thing. Well, here's the thing. Since there are enough guys there, and a lot of my guy friends are married to a lot of Jen's friends, so it's all communal anyway. But all the guys, we just get together and drink. Yeah, we just drink. We don't care. Like, there's nothing.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, and then we go into the bedroom and have a big.
But there are like other
drink.
games. You guys could have just played darts. Or pool.
We could play darts.
Sounds like they're playing dick darts.
We can play darts.
I know it's raining, so
croquet
is out of the question.
Yeah, the girls can go to the corner and they gossip. Poker. Yeah,
sounds like they're playing that.
They could play. They could gossip. They could do all their stuff. Talk about hair stuff, whatever the girls want. I like
hair
this is
stuff.
obvious. I obviously don't
talk
listen
about
to
hair
what they're
stuff.
talking about.
That is,
but all the guys, we get
true.
together. We take shots. We laugh. We play games. We have sex in the bathroom. We like
hair stuff.
Yeah, talk about hair stuff. It's like so. There's a lot
just
of
normal
stuff.
Dude stuff.
Yeah, it's just regular dude stuff. Right. So so baby showers can be fun for both the guys and the girls.
Right. Well,
my God, I had a baby shower.
You just have to redefine fun.
Yeah. Well, you don't have to redefine fun. It's just like, we just we get together, big orgy.
Yeah, ladies, when a dude says, I had a good time, he did not have a good time.
I had a great time.
I had a good time. I had a fantastic time, and congratulations again, Chris.
It's when guys go. It's when guys go. It was okay. That's when you know they had a good time.
Or when they go, I had a good time. I had a good time.
It's all right.
I had a good time.
Yeah.
I had a good time.
I had a good time.
All right, let's do some comments here. So let's start off with Caden Corbin.
It's a good name. I like that.
That's a good Caden Corbin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be in like radio or something.
Or LA Law.
Yes, LA Law, Dawson. Good call. Caden Corbin would be a great lawyer.
Yeah. Gary goes, you have some competition.
Hard driving defense attorney Caden Corbin's here on the case.
Ooh. Yeah.
Here at Caden Corbin, we win. We don't just fight.
Yeah. Well, I would reverse it.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if I did reverse it, then I would have taken Jacob Emrani's slogan. So I had to do it different.
Speaking of rewriting, so there's this Bryan Cranston show on Showtime called Your Honor. It's pretty bad, but I love it at the same time. It's like a guilty pleasure for me to watch it just because it's Bryan Cranston, and it's weird Yeah, there's like and they shouldn't have done a season 2. There was only supposed to be one season, but they decided to do it, and I'm watching that. And this most recent episode, there's a courthouse scene, which I'm sure there's a ton of stuff in this courthouse scene that wouldn't fly, Gary Ghost, that would just drive you nuts as a fan of all those law and order and law and all that. So this the defense attorney is speaking to the jury and and talking to the jury about stuff, and she starts, they're in New Orleans, and she starts it off with, and she's defending a kid who's just who's being tried for murder, and she starts it off with, I hate this room. I hate this room. I hate this courthouse. I hate everything about it, because so much bad comes in here with all the injustice that's been happening lately. So I hate being in this room because I see that. I hate this city. In fact, I hate this city for all it stands for.
Bold
I
strategy.
hate this whole city.
Yeah, seriously, Caitlin.
And then she looks at the jury again. She goes, and I hate this building. And she explains why she hates this building. But I'm like, you kind of did that with the room already. You expanded out from this room to this city,
and now you're coming back local.
You went medium.
You
went small, large, medium, and you shouldn't do that. And it threw me out. And then she proceeded to insult the judge, saying, "Look at what that judge is wearing. That's just fabric." I'm like, you can't insult the judge.
Well, also,
it's clothes.
To insult the city is to insult the people on the jury. They're all residents.
Yeah, not a great strategy. And I just thought, this is not a courthouse drama.
Yeah, when I saw that show was coming back for a season 2, I went, because I knew that was supposed to be a limited series.
Yeah, this is clearly a money grab, but it's also a Chris grab, because they grabbed me, and I am watching it, but I don't like it. It's almost masochistic in a way. But anyway, Caden Corbin, I would watch any court drama with Caden Corbin defending or prosecuting. So Caden writes, Gary,
yo,
congratulations.
What's
also up? In the interview process, did your airplane trip across the pond ever come up about your like that chat on ACS about your flight?
I'm fucking very aware of it. Thanks.
He leads every interview with that story. Actually,
that's what I tend to lead with.
Caden writes, I personally would have that fear if my dirty family vacation pastime was brought up. Podcast related questions, Anyway, that's still my favorite story about you. I'm guessing Caden's referring to your interview and that was just released today. There's an article.
No, I think there's an article that pretty much announces that I have a new job, and I think he was talking about my new job interview. And
Michael Cottingham's comment says, Gary heading up the new LA magazines, heading up the new Los Angeles magazine's new podcast division. Don't try to big time us, Gary. Always remember your turtle fart.
Here I am. I ain't going anywhere.
Oh, yeah. So tell us about it. I mean, I read the article. I'm super excited.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's still obviously very new, but I'm apparently going to spearhead their new podcast division. We're starting with a show that is going to feature a lot of people you guys are all familiar with. It's going to be co-hosted by Brian Bishop and Gina Grad, and we already put a test episode in the can. I'm checking. If you keep seeing me look at my phone, it's because I'm checking my email, because the podcast feed is supposed to be set up any moment, and that'll drop immediately once the podcast feed and the YouTube channel are ready to go. And then we just finished our first full-length episode about 15 minutes before we started recording this. Thank you for moving for me, Chris. Chris moved Watercooler so that I could make both things work. And we had on an author that works for LA Magazine and recently wrote a story, and we basically let her sort of tell the Reader's Digest version of it, and then Brian and Gina asked her, questions that they had after reading the story, and I thought that it turned out great. And at the end, Brian and Gina kind of went to another segment where they sort of ask each other questions about their experiences in LA, and we'll have another episode out in a few days. It's going to be twice a week, and I'm very excited.
So this show is hosted by Gina Grad and Brian Bishop, Gina and Brian. Now, I'm sure you came up with a really great title for it. What is this podcast called?
Well, it's either called the Brian and Gina Show or the Gina and Brian Show. That article said the Gina and Brian show, and Brian has since taken every opportunity he could to say the Brian and Gina show. So there's a bit of a battle going on there that just I have way bigger fish to fry at the moment. I've just been laughing at it.
I didn't realize that they were fighting, but can I pitch a title?
Sure.
The Gab Bag Show. So it's the Gina and Brian and Gina show. And it's Gab Bag. It's a pun off a grab bag.
Well, it'd
the
be
Gab Bag.
Gabba Bag, like Abacab, because the Brian and Gina show and the Gina and Brian show.
Those are yours, Gary. All those are great ideas.
I will tell you what, guys. Those are all going right in that hopper. They're going right in there, and we will see what spits out the other end.
Yeah. Either way, there's going to be Gab and there's going to be Bag.
Yep.
And everyone will listen because they think it's about Baghdad.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll get the Baghdad audience too.
Right.
I mean, they might
definitely.
Baghdad audience brought to you by Los Angeles Magazine. Cool.
We're getting a lot of listeners from Baghdad, you guys. This is crazy.
Yeah.
I did now also in the article. I did see that you were interviewed. You had some statements in there. No mention of the water cooler though. I mean, a publication interviews you and you don't mention the podcast that you're currently on.
Yeah,
that you star in.
That was an interesting move on my part. We encouraged people to go back and listen to We Ride at Dawn, knowing what they know now, and I think that's a fun re-listen. I'll give you a similar one. You can go reread that article. I didn't realize that I was giving quotes when I was giving them. I thought I was talking to somebody generally about the plan for the podcast, and it turned out that was a reporter. And no, I'm joking. I sort of knew who I was talking to, but I did not expect there to be so many quotes from me. I knew she was talking to Brian and Gina as well, so I thought that she was just sort of looking for a little background from me, and I was very surprised when the article dropped and there was more than a few quotes from me. So yeah, man,
you got to start saying off the record. Just say that before every sentence.
I actually have to ask you about that. Gary goes, so with cops, if you ask them, hey, are you a cop? You have to tell me if you're a cop. That's not necessarily true.
Correct.
They can continue to lie. Now, but if you're talking to a reporter and you go, hey, off the record, I killed that hooker. Can they
get that drop?
Do anything? Please. Like, is that off the record?
I don't think that when it is an admission of a crime or involved with violence.
What about a statement, though? Just like, hey, off the record, I'd like to kill that hooker.
Both drops, please.
Yes, we're going to need a lot of drops. I don't know, Chris. I know that journalists take the off-the-record thing very, very seriously. So I would think that if you told a reporter something was off the record and they, agreed with you, that pretty much anything you say is off the record.
Hey, man, that was off the record.
But yeah, I heard you always assume that if you're talking to a reporter, everything you're saying is on the record.
Yeah, and I was joking earlier. I did know there was a chance she was going to use what I was saying. I just did not expect her to use as much as she did.
I've done a lot of research in my field of true crime writing, and the prosecution,
here we go.
When they hear the other side said off the record, they're like, well, let's just tear up this entire case. We got nothing. Everything he said was off the record.
Yeah. Oh, this is breaking my heart. You're totally right. You're right. That you're right. It's dumb for me to think something like that, but
I'm sure people say off the record all the time, and this shit still gets printed somehow.
Yeah. One of the cases that I recently wrote, the person responsible for it told somebody that if you go to the police, I'm just going to act like a crazy person. And there's a law that says that if the person responsible for a crime acts crazy for an extended period of time, they drop the case. And this person fucking believed it because they're an idiot. But I found that to be very amusing.
When you're desperate, you'll do anything.
That's good.
But see, so Gary's going to be working at LA Magazine with some of the world's top journalists. So you can surely ask, at least get a survey. Is that, hey, just is off the record a real thing? Can we do that? I'd like to know.
I'm sure over time I can suss that out a little bit. This
needs to be a first day thing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not going to be a first day thing under any circumstances.
God, you're working at a publication, a new guy comes in. Hey. So is off the record real?
Yeah.
Well, you're done with the orientation. Hope you're getting settled in. Are there any questions you have about your new job? Any questions I can answer for you?
Yeah, exactly. No, but I got to go to a staff meeting over there earlier this week, and everyone was very nice, and I'm looking forward to it. Brian and Gina are in their normal, awesome form, and they're consummate professionals, and they're a pleasure to work with. So, Future's
Let me know
bright.
if you guys need an Austin correspondent.
There you go. LA Magazine with Taste of Austin.
Yeah, dude. Right.
Long Beach is in LA. I'll take that. Dibs, Caitlin. Sorry.
Well, we could do it together.
Nope. Sorry, dude. Oh
We'll
wait,
be a
we
team.
could. But I already asked for doing it alone.
Also,
Yeah, well,
I don't
kinda
know.
far
Sorry,
away
you know.
anyway.
Plus,
Well,
I
I'll have
would've
you
won.
do it, and then I'll just compete with you against you, and I'll one up the places you go to.
Oh, I don't
Kaylin,
want that.
I gotta be honest. The gamer headset's hurting you.
Oh, is it really?
I mean, Chris is crystal clear over there, so. But his camera may fail at any moment.
Caitlin,
So.
how about this? I'll just write it and I'll put your name on it. Let's just be a duo. You could be the Ben
Nah.
Affleck. I'll be your Matt Damon.
You know my integrity when it comes to quarter collections, so I couldn't go ahead and pass off
Yeah.
Hey, that work if it weren't my own.
Speaking of quarter collections, Gary, I have something you can pitch your new LA Magazine colleagues. There is a piece. There is a story out just right here in Long Beach. One man is trying to collect all 50 state quarters,
Wow. Yeah.
and we need to
That is-
follow him on his journey.
That's
This
a
is
human interest
this,
story.
This is a human interest story. I'm
Yeah.
Aaron Sorkin's going to want the rights to this. Okay, he's going to want an option. We need to get on this now.
Wow.
Can you make that happen?
Just
Just be
it's
good
pretty
publicity
big.
for the podcast. People do love this
There's-
series. They're on the edge of their seats. These states, one man in LA County is making whole states celebrate together. It's beautiful.
It's almost unfair how many good ideas I'm being given as I go into this new role. I mean,
I know.
it's almost like you guys are, a big support team behind me, and I just don't know if that's fair to my coworkers.
Do we just all show up at Gary's work with these ideas? Just show them what the think tank really looks like?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, after sitting in that staff meeting, I think that you guys would definitely change the tone.
Oh, why?
Just inject some humor into it. What does that mean?
Yeah,
I gotta say I didn't hear as many groundbreaking ideas during that meeting as I have in the last 10
Exactly.
minutes.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Maybe they could use a little taste of the cloth. You know
That's
what I'm
right here.
saying?
Well, also speaking of these staff meetings, Gary, what are the amenities like? What do you got?
Yeah,
You
what's
got
in that mini
coffee?
fridge?
You got
I mean, there was
Is there
definitely
anything?
unchips. What are you looking at?
there was coffee. It was morning, so there were bagels.
Oh,
There
Bagels.
was
Oh,
cream.
bagels.
There was
Oh,
cream
wow.
and cheese.
slow it
And-
down. What kind of bagels?
Oh, there was a whole box, Matt. There was a big one of
Dawson
those.
gets that.
It was one of those, you go into the Einstein or the Brugger's, and you give me the 30 bagels, and dealer's choice.
E equals MC delicious.
Exactly.
Right?
So
Every bagel I have has locks.
lots of
Can't
logs.
get to them. Need some keys.
Oh, locks. Well, Gary, we can't wait to hear about all that you're doing at LA Magazine.
Thanks.
I
I plan to never talk about it on this show.
Why? What?
Well, because now I have
For legal reasons.
Yeah.
It's really in his best interest.
Figure out the off the record thing first, and then
Yeah, start with off the
Yeah,
record.
start figure that out first.
Gary's new segment where he shit talks his work. It's called Off the Record. It just starts with Off the Record.
Can I retroactively go back and take the airplane story off the record? Last thing I need being brought up right now. Jesus. This is like, all joking aside,
Gordon.
people, this is my life.
Yeah.
It's definitely odd. All right, well, let's see. Oh, let's do one more comment and then we'll move on here. Joe Urbanek says, I'm a basketball junkie, and I was looking up stuff with high school recruits and had no idea that Eric Stromer's son is a highly touted basketball prospect, ranked in the top 50 in the country, just signed to Gonzaga. I don't know. Yeah, dude, Dusty Stromer.
Dusty Stromer,
Eric
he's
Stromer's kid
he's
is a
beast.
baller.
Yep, he's super good, and he did just sign to Gonzaga, and he's got giant name, image, likeness deals, and he's already just killing it. And
That's fucking awesome.
And let's also remember that Eric Schomer's wife is an award-winning stage director who works with like A-list artists all across the globe. So I swear I would love to just die and be reincarnated as Eric Schomer. That man is living the fucking greatest life on earth. Like,
Well,
Yeah, we
come
love
on.
I'll give him a small plug here. He is going to be starting a new basketball-focused podcast coming very soon. He asked me if I could help him promote it a little bit. I will absolutely be tweeting about it from my personal account. So I'll give you guys an update on what it's called and where you can subscribe once that's live. But there you go.
Is that
Coming
going to be
soon.
a LA Magazine thing?
No, I don't think so. I think this is something he's doing with someone else. I'm not exactly sure, but One podcast at a time for LA Magazine, Chris. Calm down. Just calm down.
Well, we're super excited, man. And if Gina and Brian are at the Bag Gab show, or the Gab Bag show, excuse me, if they need any correspondence, like when somebody who knows something about state quarters or somebody who knows something about true crime and food, you have sources here.
I sure do.
We're willing. We're not tied down, is what we're saying. We can spread our wings here and really promote the other podcasts and help them too. So,
God,
let me know if you need a produced intro. I'll take care of it for you.
Thanks, bud.
That's actually real. That actually sounds like a real offer.
Yeah, no, that is real.
That may be coming soon because the VO that I laid down on it was not great.
Yeah, dude, I'll take care of it. I'd love to.
Can we listen to that?
No.
I would love to hear that.
Well, you can. Yes. You know what, Chris?
Right now.
Yes, you can. You just can't listen to it right now. You have to go subscribe to the the Gina and Brian show when it comes out in the next 12 to 18 hours, probably.
Oh, it's that.
It's coming. Like I'm. That's what I'm telling you. Like that's why I keep checking my phone. Like this.
You're freaking launchy.
This stuff should be live. I mean, there is displeasure that things are not available or were not available when the article dropped. So we're really working on it.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could write another article, right? Because that one was written by you guys.
I mean, it wasn't written by me, but yes, I'm sure. But
you just get another. You should keep doing a new article every day. That's better for SEO. Sorry, we're getting technical here for all the listeners, but an article every hour is really what you want.
Again,
every minute, might as well.
Oh, okay. Kaylin, see, this is the think tank that I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. This is what you guys need.
At what point do I just get you guys' email addresses and start paying you?
What point do we start paying you? I mean, it feels like we're already working there. Jeez, no. Look, as I said, we're just super excited. We can't wait. It's funny, like, to hear new things that we're all doing now.
I know.
Just like, I mean, that you guys are doing. I'm still doing the same old shit, but it's interesting to me and it's exciting. Yeah,
it's wild after so many years to have a lot of change kind of coming all at once. So yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate the support and. Yeah, just the best way you can support me right now, aside from joining the Patreon of this show, is to just go over and give that a subscribe and a review as soon as you can. And I love you for it. Thank you all in advance.
Can I do one more comment? Just because I like this one. Stephanie Rinker writes, "Hey, brothers, I'm currently doing a rewatch of the episode We Ride at Dawn for Hidden Clues, and it does not disappoint. So I'm glad that you can get a second reviewing or listen of that episode, and it'll be something different once you know new information. Yeah, so it's kind of fun. All right, those are our comments, everybody. Thanks for writing in. We appreciate it. We love you. All right, Kaylin.
Yep.
Let's do some state quarter talk and flicking the bean.
Let's play quarters.
So I missed last week's Watercooler episode. So after 2 weeks of trying to collect my state quarters, I got a total of 4 state quarters in that time.
$1.
Oh, $1. That's
Gary. This is what I'm talking about. This is human interest. This is what people want to hear.
I got a whole $1, but it's not all good news because they're all repeats. I have them all. I have them all already.
What do I have to live for anymore,
Why
man?
do you do that?
Is ridiculous.
Your bedside manner is terrible.
Imagine how frustrated I am. Okay, constantly
the universe's
looking
bedside manner is terrible. I'm sorry, man. That sucks. 4 quarters. 4 quarters. And all look. I mean, that's pretty impressive that you're starting to get repeats. You're going to be getting repeats for a while. The more quarters you get. I hate to tell you. But yeah, we're excited. We're excited for your journey, and I apologize to all the states, especially the ones that bought perishable food for their celebrations. You will not be enjoying it.
I'll just eat it now. Celebrate.
All those New Mexican chilaquiles and nachos. We're real sorry.
Yeah, they're
I didn't know chilaquiles was involved.
I know. See, even Dawson's all the way.
Celebrate.
See, Dawson gets it all the way in California. We apologize to all those states, and hopefully we can give you a reason to celebrate in the future. All right, Ken, why don't you flick some beans?
All right.
One thing.
Your opinion's what we need. So Kaylin, get on that mic and flick the bean.
Oh, Kaylin, flick the bean.
Respect all women.
So for this week's review, I watched Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Timely.
Yeah,
Galen?
yeah.
The Oscars.
I've seen it.
It had to be watched. You have seen it.
It's Oscar season, or it's we're thinking of really high quality cinema right now. It's always in your head.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course,
You need a little palate cleanser.
dude. I've seen this, Kalen, and I'm excited for your review because I certainly have thoughts.
Okay, great. Well, it came out in October of 2021, but you can stream it now on the Stars app.
Oh, wow. Everyone's got that. We should use that for our movie nights going forward.
So the Stars app is basically where you can watch Venom 2 and anything produced by 50 Cent.
Yeah.
It's basically become the 50 Cent network.
Well, to be fair, I actually did shit on the Stars app when Chris originally brought it up, but I eventually downloaded it, and they got some pretty good offerings movie-wise on Stars app. So
Agreed.
And
Party
like
Down. Party
I was
Down's
wrong.
back.
I was
Right.
Party Down.
That's been great so far.
So this movie was directed by Andy Serkis. Did you know that? I
shit,
had
that's,
no
that's
idea.
fucking Gollum, dude.
Yeah, he directed this movie. I had no idea. It was written by Kelly Marcel, who also wrote the first Venom, Cruella on Disney Plus, which is pretty good, and 50 Shades of Grey. So I don't know, a lot of range. It stars Tom Hardy, Woody Harrelson, Michelle Williams, and Stephen Graham, who, if you don't know his name, you know his face. He was in Snatch and Gangs of New York. He played Al Capone in Boardwalk Empire. Very recognizable. It's an hour and 37 minutes long. It cost $110 million to make, and it made $507 million at the box office. So they got that going for them. It's got a 57% with the critics on Rotten Tomatoes, but an 84% with the audience on Rotten Tomatoes. And I don't have much of a synopsis. It's just Venom versus Carnage. What else do you need to know there?
Well, I have a couple questions.
Hold on. Carnage is Carnage a character?
Yeah, what's Carnage? What is that?
Carnage is a
You guys don't know what Carnage is?
No,
Yeah, I do. That's
I'm
why
a
I'm fucking asking.
Yeah, thank you.
40-year-old.
Matt figured it out.
Thank you.
You've seen Carnage. Carnage
Everybody
is,
knows Carnage.
Oh, Carnage. I just really don't think Carnage.
Hey
is
guys,
any
saying
other
Carnage 11 times isn't going to get me any closer to where I'm
Yeah.
trying to
Carnage
go.
is that. It's like a.
You know Carnage?
It's
Carnage.
It's Venom,
No, Carnage.
It's Venom's
Carnage.
enemy. It's like, but he's red.
What?
Carnage is his Venomy.
Remember?
Hey, that should have been on the poster.
How is that
I
the
don't
guy
know
who
what
got in a
Carnage
car
is.
accident? Jesus, that's funny shit, Dawson.
I don't know.
So I never read the Yeah, there you go. That's
So it's wait a minute.
Gotta
It's
So
autofocus.
Spider-Man
red Venom?
is red, and they're like, we need to make a different version of Spider-Man. Let's create Venom and make a black-skinned version of Spider-Man. And then at a certain
And
point, they're like,
buff.
let's not do this anymore. Let's make a red version of Venom. So how is
Yeah.
that not just fucking Spider-Man
Carnage
all
is
over
like
again?
Yes,
if
exactly.
Venom and the T-1000 had a baby.
That would never
Yeah.
work.
That sounds like
all
a
right.
movie
So
idea.
it's essentially the same. It's like Sub-Zero and Scorpion from Mortal Kombat. Like they look exactly the same. They just wear a slightly different outfit.
Sort of, yeah. But Carnage is like a more souped-up version of Venom. It's like Venom 2.0, essentially.
Was someone
Yeah.
trying to recreate Venom and they went too far, or what? How did this work?
Sure sounds like that's what
Well-
happened, Gary. If I know my comic book movies.
So,
That's a good question. That's not exactly how it plays out in the movie, so I don't know if that's how it played out in the original comic books. But according to the movie, no, that's not exactly what happened. So he initially got his powers by getting bitten, and then Carnage, Woody Harrelson, got his powers by biting. So I guess it just transfers through the mouth. That's essentially how this works.
Yeah.
And as you can tell, I never read these comic books growing up, so I don't know these finer details. I was familiar with a few comic book characters. They were mostly X-Men because of the animated show, and my brothers were into it. Other than that, the only other superhero I knew was Spider-Man because of the N64 game.
Oh,
And then because of that, I knew Venom. And he was the most badass character I'd ever seen. And so I went out and got like a Venom action figure and a Spider-Man action figure, and I'd have Venom just kick Spider-Man's ass up and down all day long. And then I discovered Carnage, and I was like, oh my God, this is even better than Venom. This is great. These characters are fucking badass. And when I reviewed the first Venom movie, I don't remember the score that I gave it, but I do remember saying that the movie and how they decided to essentially do Venom was rather silly. And that was not what I wanted out of my Venom. And so for this movie, they went ahead and just doubled down on the silly. They just doubled right down on it. I did not expect to love this movie. I didn't hear great reviews when it came out at the time. But as you know, I've been hanging in there with Marvel. But this isn't Disney's Marvel. This is Sony's Marvel. So there's some copyright issues with Spider-Man. It's a little complicated. Essentially, the last 3 Spider-Man movies were all good, but because they collaborated with Marvel Studios. But Sony's not very good at making superhero movies on their own. Venom was not that great. And Morbius, that came out rather recently, I think was just a giant joke on the internet. I haven't seen it, but it just turned into a giant joke on how bad
it's its own meme.
Yeah. So I wasn't expecting much from this movie. But hey, it's Venom, it's Carnage, it's comic book characters. I'm in. Tom Hardy, fucking love him, as you know. Woody Harrelson, the best. Stephen Graham is great. But yeah, I could not get past the silliness in this movie, and I really tried, and I think it made me hate it even more every time they tried to do it. Between the horrible, horrible jokes to Woody Harrelson's like one-dimensional bad guy and a ridiculous hairpiece that he wears in this movie. I mean, it is so laughable. I just couldn't take the movie seriously, which I guess is what they wanted. They wanted that silly vibe, but at one point Venom goes to like an underground rave. It just I couldn't do it. I was not expecting much, and I was still disappointed. The actual fights between Carnage and Venom is all right. They're not terrible, and when they transform into their characters is pretty cool, and that was about it. But hey, 84% with the audience. I seem to be in the minority here, and I accept that. But I just couldn't do it as much as I wanted to, as hard as I tried. But I just hated it. I just hated the movie. I think it just comes from the resentment of them turning like my favorite cool characters as a kid into a joke, essentially. But yeah, I just hated it. But I tried. Much like how I just hate marshmallows. I've tried. Okay.
You hate
Listen.
what?
Marshmallows. I fucking hate marshmallows. I've tried, and
But you love people who subscribe to the Malo money tier.
Yes, those are my people. I would really like to like marshmallows. Okay, you think it's fun never getting to enjoy s'mores?
Oh, I didn't think about that, buddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Everybody having a good time cooking their s'mores, and I have to just sit there with nothing. It's a miserable experience.
You won't even go chocolate and graham only.
I won't go. No, I can't do that. At that point, it's not even I don't know what that is.
Or with Matt, like a Snickers with graham.
It was a crunch bar. It was a
whatever you
crunch
want.
bar. They're thin. It makes perfect sense.
Marshmallows, they're light, they're sweet, they're fun, and I can't fucking stand them. Just like this movie, unflickable. 3.1 out of 10.
Man.
That's tough. See, Kaylin, I agree with everything you said because I've seen this movie as well. And when you were telling me how you felt about it, I was like, yes, I agree with your entire description, except I freaking loved it. I love that, dude. I love it. It's so good. I'll be watching the third one.
No way.
How do you feel about marshmallows?
And I love marshmallows. I enjoy s'mores. And I look at
correlation.
Kaylin, and I'm excited that he's not eating one because that means I get an extra. All right. Well, let's do a quick Shay, and then we'll GTFO. So, Matt,
no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on the menu? And hi, Tiki.
Well, let me just say this is a quick shake because it's really just a follow-up on the last Patreon episode. I told you guys that I was trying a new recipe. It was a baked ziti with spicy ground turkey. If you guys remember, it was going to involve a skillet. I fucking hate the skillet. And it turns out I did not bring my skillet with me to Texas. That's how much I hate my skillet. I fucking threw it away. I threw it away in California.
Yeah.
I moved several things that weighed hundreds of pounds that cost me thousands of dollars, but I did not move the 17-pound skillet that I refused to cook with. So I basically did the same recipe, but in just sort of a normal cooking pan, and then I moved all that into an oven-safe dish, and then the oven portion was accomplished there. So the recipe was still what it set out to do. Dawson, you suggested adding a little splash of the white wine, which I did do. I don't know what it would have tasted like without it because it's the first time I made it.
Right. You got nothing to judge it against.
I got to say, it was fucking delicious. It was a great recipe. The only real problem with the recipe was that it said that you could cook the pasta in 6 minutes, after putting it into the boiling water. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't think I've ever been able to cook pasta in under 10 minutes. So I had to sort of adjust the timing a little bit. But because everything goes into the oven anyway, it wasn't really a huge deal. So, I mean, again, this isn't a recipe that I came up with. I just found it online. Baked ziti with spicy ground turkey. You could probably Google it yourself if you want to try it. Super easy, super delicious. That's what's on the menu.
Hey, he said it.
That's what I had for my birthday dinner. There's still a fucking half a dish of it sitting in the fridge.
Oh, you got your ziti too. That's what you were going to say. You were going to ask for it.
Now, I don't cook very often. But I did find a guy online that does recipes, and I have made baked ziti based off his recipes twice now, and it is fucking delicious.
Really? Is there meat in it, or is it vegetarian?
No, there's meat in it, and
like sausage.
I believe it's ground beef and sausage. I believe, to the best of my recollection. But it's fucking amazing. The only problem is it just makes a shit ton of ziti, and I'm just eating ziti for days afterwards. But I got to give him a plug. If you look up a guy called Philly Boy J on YouTube, I'm telling you, Philly Boy J's baked ziti recipe on YouTube is fucking amazing.
This is someone in your gamer room.
Yeah, did you meet him at Call of Duty?
Sour shoes.
Yeah, isn't it T-Cow and Philly Boy J? Those are the guys you came with?
Well, I even went back to Philly Boy J for a buffalo wing sauce recipe, and let's just say his wing recipe didn't sound quite as good as his baked ziti.
Stick to
recipe,
ziti, Philly.
Yeah, stick to the ziti.
But it's a damn good ziti. Check it out.
Gary, have you had ziti this week? Because it seems like everybody else has.
I sure haven't. I definitely have not.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that yours went okay, Matt, and I'm sorry about your skillet.
I'm not. I'm fucking no regrets, man. I'm glad I got rid of that thing.
Yeah. Hey, look, no skillet, you still kill it. All right. Well, why don't we go around and get our plugs in? And then we'll GTFO. I will start with Kaylin. Kaylin, what do you suggest everyone check out other than Philly Boy J?
Other than Philly Boy J, go check out another Below Deck podcast. Now, I don't watch a lot of reality TV, but I fucking love Below Deck. I think it's the best reality TV.
Oh, that's right.
And I became a fan of another Below Deck podcast months ago, and I'm very happy to be working on it now, helping producing it. It's great.
Oh, Kaylin, we're talking about Gary's new podcast, and you've been secretly producing one this whole time?
Yeah, it's. I should probably also plug Bad TV. It's kind of all under one umbrella. They recap a ton of different reality shows, but I know that's the biggest one because Below Deck is just the greatest reality TV that's on right now, and they're fucking great at recapping it. So it's a really good show.
Somebody explained to me.
That last episode was hilarious.
This last season was amazing. It was one of the best ones in my opinion.
Speaking of reality TV, somebody explained to me the whole Vanderpump Rules drama.
How long did it take?
That is some tea.
How long did it take, Chris?
That is some straight oolong concentrate that was just pumped into my veins. It took about 10 minutes.
Oh, you got a light version of it. To
To
fully explain that drama is like a 45-minute thing if you're just completely out of the loop. It's
funny you said that because they did do a recap on the whole Vanderpump Rules drama
The
on Bad
Scandival.
TV. So if you want to go check that out, they dedicated the time to truly explain it. Bad TV. Podcast.
Wonderful.
And by the way,
Okay.
Chris, if we're going to talk about the Vanderpump Rules drama, we've got to use the hashtag that everyone's using, Scandival.
I didn't even know that.
The guy in question is named Tom Sandoval, and someone came up with Scandival, and the internet went, "Yep."
Yep, that's it. That's what we're going with. All right, Gary, what do you suggest we check out for your plug?
I suggest we check out the Patreon of this show, patreon.com/watercooler. I assure you I'm not going anywhere, and I'm very much looking forward to continuing both iterations of this show. But Patreon especially is a really fun one, and we take it very seriously. So please support us. It's the best way you can. Patreon.com/watercooler.
Hashtag $5 is $5.
Correct.
I love how Gary's like, please subscribe to our Patreon. We take it very seriously. And less than 4 minutes ago, Matt's like, hey, remember in Patreon when I said I was going to cook ziti?
Yeah,
Well, I don't
come
have.
on,
I
was
lost the
offering-
skillet.
Ziti is a serious topic.
Yes, it is.
How dare you mess with Ziti?
I
Thank
look.
you.
I love ziti. Who doesn't love ziti? All right, Dawson. So about you, Matt.
He's taking a phone call.
Dawson got the phone call.
I
Dude,
could not have been
I-
timed more.
I
perfectly.
just got
Right
big
back.
timed so hard. Dawson
straight
got
out
a
of a
phone call,
movie.
and he put
The only
his
thing
finger
that
up.
the only thing that was missing was Dawson saying into the phone, "Go."
Just everybody drive safe.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's-
And we're
that's
glad
very
you're okay,
good.
buddy.
That's a good plug.
And Matt, so about you.
Well, I will second the drive safe. I will second the patreon.com/watercooler. I'll second everything that Keelan plugged. And I just want to also add, follow me on Twitter @MattFontelier. There you go.
All right, and I just want to wish happy birthday to Dawson, buddy. Happy
Yeah,
birthday.
happy birthday, Dawes.
Happy birthday.
Everybody wish Dawson a happy birthday. Hope he enjoyed his ziti, and we will see you again probably tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tomorrow,
Yeah.
look at us for our Patreon episode. So subscribe to Patreon, patreon.com/watercooler, and we will see you there. We love you. Goodbye.
Ooh.